Hello, all you gorgeous, amazing humans. I hope everybody's week was fantastic and now it has come to a close and you're planning something fantastic for the weekend. If you've already looked at my video of my WIP completions for March so far, you know that I completed the 4 that I was working on for the events that I was in for March. So now I can kind of just do a couple that, I just happen to like. So for today's WIP N Chat, I'm going to be working on this cute little dragon in the Easter basket because, how cute can it get, right? Just so cute. All of my pens are waxed and puttied and ready to roll. So that's good. And I'm going to be using this little cover minder. This one was actually a free gift from Fairy Dust Clay, which has some adorable little items. If you have not gone over to fairydustclay.com, you absolutely need to, because again, this was a free gift, but I thought since it had the bunny ears, this was kind of cute for Easter. She's got little magnets on there. So go over and look at Fairy Dust Clay because, oh, so cute. All right, so what's everyone up to? Also, the other one that you might see me working on for the rest of the month was this other one that I showed you guys a while ago. This beautiful pastel little dragon. The nice thing is I was able to use my Elizabeth Ward since both of them had 22. I switched out one of the medium sized for 2 of the smaller containers. So I have 44, so that worked out perfectly. I have one kitted up on this side and one kitted up over here. And I know if you're thinking, oh my God, how are you going to tell them apart? Easy. The washi tape that I used on the border is the washi tape that I used under the numbers on the drills. This one has this washi tape, and so it has this washi tape around the border so that there's no confusion because, yeah, I don't trust my mind that much, you guys. So, shall we get started? All right. Well, I hope everybody is doing great and everybody had a really nice week and things that were supposed to go well went well and things that were kind of up in the air kind of settled down and did what it needed to do by the end of the week so that you're headed into the weekend knowing that you owe yourself something fun to do. Because really, the work week is long, the weekends are not long enough, so make them count, people. You only get so many weekends in your lifetime. Let's not screw it up, okay? Okay. So, do something amazing and fun for yourself, whatever that looks like for you, and head into it with gusto, okay? I'm going to use my little ceramic cutter so that I can cut this plastic and get my little cover minder ready to go so that I can peel up this side of the plastic. Ta-da! Yep, get that all creased down, ready to go. The little cover minder, pick it up, put that down, put that back down wherever the magnet went. There it is. All right. And why is it so dark? Well, duh, because I need to pick up my light pad and bring it over here. Don't mind me. There's always something, you guys. Yep. So, move this just a little bit. All right. Another thing I wanted to do, I know that I talked a lot last week about my best friend, Lisa, and her being in the hospital. And, you guys were so incredibly wonderful and so nice and so kind with your words. And I just cannot tell you how much we both appreciate it. Really and truly, I don't even know what to say. You guys were fantastic. And I'm so grateful that I have all of you because, you're wonderful. I just can't believe it. There are so many of you now and not a troll among you. God love every one of your little souls. So just as a little thing I thought I would show you so you don't think it's a figment of my imagination. I wrote a letter to Lisa's doctor because it's been a while since he called me, and you know, I've left messages, but it didn't matter. So anyway, this is the letter, but I wanted to show you some pictures. These were taken over last summer. We were in Las Vegas for her 55th birthday. I bought her this birthday girl sash, which was great because like 200 people said happy birthday as we were toddling around the casinos and going to go see Cirque du Soleil. But yeah, that's my bestie right there. And there she is, looking really happy. Now remember, this was just last June, okay? 9 months ago. This is she and I in front of the dragon because, yeah, hello, we stayed at the Excalibur, which if you're not familiar with Las Vegas, is a hotel that has a medieval times type theme. And so, you know, there are knights and wenches and all that. Anyway, the store has a big dragon out in front. So naturally, we had to get our picture taken from the dragon. But yep, that was us in June of last year. And then this is what she looked like when I went to see her in January in the hospital. So yeah, very different for sure. And nobody seems to think that's a problem, except I do, because she should never have become this ill. This is what can happen when you have Medicaid. So really, you guys, please remember, you have to really advocate for yourself and your loved ones, because let this be a cautionary tale. Again, she should never have been this ill. Okay. Now, I tell you all that to tell you this. So, this letter that I sent to the doctor arrived on Monday this past week. Oh, hang on a minute, guys. Hey, guys, sorry about that. So, my son just got home and was talking with his staff person to see how his day went. So, anyway, yeah, so just please be careful if you or anyone that you love has Medicaid, because things can really change quickly, and people that say that they're patient advocates aren't. So yeah, be really careful and really prepared that you may have to, oops, sorry guys, you may have to really do whatever you need to do to make sure that you and the people that you love are taken care of. Because again, it's been my experience so far that not a lot of interest, concern, or monitoring or oversight to make sure that the most vulnerable among us have what they need in terms of medical care. So, okay, so now for potential good news. I hope this is, I'm gonna get you guys a little bit closer. Okay, I think that's good enough. You don't need to be right on it, but there you go. Potential good news. I got a call earlier this week from the hospital wanting permission to do an endoscopy procedure. The doctor, now remember, the doctor received my letter on Monday. This is probably a coincidence, but I'd like to think maybe it did some good. So I got a call Tuesday morning. They wanted to do an endoscopy so they can look again at her lungs. They're going to surgically close the trach site, which is wonderful, because if they do that, in theory, she should be able to both speak and eat. So that would be wonderful. Also, I found out that she has a perforated intestine. Okay, that annoyed me because she hasn't been eating anything except the liquid nutrition that they've been feeding her. Oh, whoops, that one missed the putty. And that means somebody sent that liquid nutrition down her nasal gastric tube that's in her nose and then down to her stomach too quickly, too much too quickly, and it perforated her bowel. So wasn't pleased about that, because that was carelessness and they should have known better. And I'm sure it was just somebody, I don't know if it was a nurse or a CNA, but somebody was trying to get their work done quickly. Because after all, she's barely conscious. You know, she's not going to notice. And we got people to take care of, so let's just get that done. You know, I was livid. So when the nurse told me that, I said, you know, you need to make sure that you go over again with your staff the importance of not rushing things like tube feedings, because it's harmful to people when it's not done correctly. And, you know, it causes grief to them for no real reason. So, yeah, that was that. So, hopefully that, you know, that point hit home where it was supposed to. So, that was on Tuesday. So, I gave my consent for the procedure. I reiterated again to them that under no circumstances was I giving them any level of authorization for anything resembling a feeding tube to be placed in her stomach. She's adamant she doesn't want it, and I'm not giving you permission to do it. So, especially now that I know they can't even feed her correctly with the G tube, or the NG tube, last thing I'm going to do is let them have access directly into her stomach. Yeah, no. So, I said, okay, they understood. So that was that. Now, they called me at 20 minutes to 8 in the morning, and I thought, why is the hospital calling me such a god-awful early hour? Because they don't usually do that. Usually it's, you know, after change of shift, after they've talked to the doctor. So, you know, 9:30, 10, 10:30, somewhere in there. So I answered it because rather than letting them leave a message, because I thought, this is awfully strange. Okay, so I gave them the consent to do that. Now, in my mind, since everybody was in such a hurry that they were planning on doing that, well, turns out, because I asked them to call me after the procedure and let me know how she's doing and when I can speak to her. And nobody called. So I thought, what is this about? So I called. I thought, well, maybe she's just tired and she's recovering, because that's kind of a big deal. And, you know, so I waited till the following morning. So I called and I said, hey, I wanted to say, you know, this is Lisa's sister. I'm trying to find out, you know, how she did after her procedure. And they said, oh, she's having it in about an hour. I said, oh, I was under the impression when you talked to me yesterday that it was some kind of an emergent thing. So she actually hasn't had it yet. And she goes, no, but they're prepping her now. So it should be in about an hour. Oh, okay. So I reminded them, you know, please call me and let me know how everything goes. Because the other thing is, okay, they're doing an endoscopy. They're repairing the perforated bowel. They're closing up her tracheostomy site at her bedside. That's where they're doing all these procedures. And I'm like, really? It's like, doesn't anybody think maybe an operating room might be prudent? Nope. Right next to her, in her room where she has a roommate, next to her bed is where the doctor's going to be. And I just went, wow, okay. So that made me nervous. So then I said, you know, please make sure somebody lets me know what happens. Okay, fine, we will. Okay. I also found out they moved her after the little, you know, escapade with her brother, because I gave them such a rash about, hey, he shouldn't have been able to get into her room. The fact that he did is not okay. So somebody needs to beef up security around there, because, So they knew I was very displeased, and that they knew that it was true, that nobody should have been able to sneak in there unbeknownst to the medical staff. So, it's, yeah. So now she's in a different room, but, and I had to answer all kinds of security questions in order to find out what room it was, and that's okay. I would rather they do that than be lax about it and then, you know, leave her vulnerable. The other thing that happened is her family called, or didn't call, but Facebook posted her other friend that's been trying to help me, that is in the Silicon Valley area in the Santa Clara County, and said that they wanted to know if she had seen her brother. And, you know, she's, no, last I knew, you know, he was in Southern California. The last post that he did was a post of the beach he took. Apparently they were paying for him to stay in a hotel by the airport. And he missed his flight, his return flight. And so the uncle was contacting her to find out, you know, have you heard from him? And she's like, nope. And I haven't seen anything. He has, you know, the last thing I saw was what he posted that you already know about. And no, I haven't seen him. And they're like, well, he must have been arrested. So that's the impression that they're going with. So per usual, he walked out on them too. And on their little task that they had for him. So hope they learned something in that little eventuality. And I said, well, remind them again that if they want to talk to me, they can, but that she's not missing, nor has she ever been missing, and that their interference nearly cost her because he almost injured her and easily could have if the nurse hadn't realized something was off and going on in that room. That could have really been awful. And that they need to back off. If they're not going to be part of the solution, then they need to get out of the way because I'm not working around them. So she's like, happy to. I said, okay. So then this morning I was on the phone in a telehealth appointment, and I got a voicemail from this uncle wanting to talk to me, wanting to know about Lisa. Oh, I have so much to say, you guys. I have so much to say. So I'll be calling him back right now. I'm waiting for, because they never did call me. So I tried to reach her nurse this morning and I couldn't get a hold of her. So I left a message for her to call me. So I'm going to give her, I said it's Friday, I'm going to give her till probably 5:30, maybe 6 Pacific time. And then I'm going to call her before the change of shift and go, hi, yeah, left you a message this morning. Howdy do. Because I want to get an update on Lisa and find out how she's doing before I talk to the uncle. So we can both get the most current information. And then we're going to have a conversation that he's probably not going to like, but that's too bad. Anyway, but it's potentially good news that if they feel like she can get along with just nasal cannula oxygen, or in some way they can keep, her airway open without having the trach in there. I mean, that is really potentially a great thing. I wish I felt more confident, but we'll see. I'm really hoping. Like I said, I'm kind of hoping that my letter to them might have had something to do with that, although I think it's more likely that they're painfully aware that she will run out of benefits on the 31st of the month unless they're social services people, who are the worst I have ever seen anywhere, get her benefits renewed. Then they expire. As of April 1st, she won't have any. So I think it probably has more to do with that it was time to do something, or cut your losses, because part of my letter was, hey, do we need to send her back to the hospital that sent her to you? Because it looks from this vantage point like everything that's tried to happen is not being very successful. So maybe they sent her prematurely and they need to find out why she's not progressing. Or maybe it's time to get other doctors to come in and take a look. I mean, you tell me how you want to handle it, but it's not okay for her to stay like this indefinitely. So, it was a nice way basically of saying poop or get off the pot, right? So I don't know. maybe it's a little both. The fact that I couldn't get his email, the doctor's email from his office staff, meant I had to send it by snail mail. So I have copies of it, you guys, as you saw. That's where I got the photos from to show you. And I decided that was okay because you never know who I may need to show it to. Might be an attorney, who knows? So that's fine. But yeah, I wanted to give him a visual. The first thing I said was, I'm attaching these photos because I understand that you've never gotten to see her well and happy and looking forward to her life. So here you go. And I said, this is how she changed from June to January. And I said, there is more than enough medical mismanagement to go around here. And I said, I realize most of that is before she ever got to you. So, and I know that you're trying to do everything that you can. But at some point, we have to look at, trying something else if none of this is working. So, now mind you, I left another message for him yesterday when I tried to call and see what was going on, because I thought she'd already had the procedure, but she didn't until after I called. But I did let them know, hey, because I had some questions. Oh, and they said, well, you have to ask the doctor those questions. I said, you know what? I would love to, except I've been waiting for almost a full week, and he's not returned the message. So if you would be a dear and just tell him that I'm calling again and that I have questions about the procedure, I'd appreciate it. And she goes, oh, okay. Yeah, sure, I can do that. But he might not be able to get to you till after the procedure. Do you still want to give consent? I said, yes, I still want to give consent because I believe that that is a procedure that if he feels she's ready for it is in her best interest. But again, I would like to know how he's going to maintain her airway if she goes into respiratory distress or respiratory failure, because once you close the vent site, then you can't just hook her back up to the vent. So what's the plan? Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I said, thanks. I thought so. So yeah, you'd have to ask the doctor. I said, yeah, I figured. So yeah, if you could just let him know. If he has to talk to me after the procedure, that's okay. I don't want to hold anything up for her. I just would like to talk to him though, because I want to know what the plan is going to be if something should happen. Because another thing is, you guys, the medical staff is used to just going, oh, hook it up, turn it up, everything's fine. I don't think they fully appreciate the fact that they're no longer going to be able to do that. Which means you have to retrain the staff too and let them know, hey, this room number no longer has a ventilator, so pay freaking attention, especially since there's no call light. It's not like if she gets into trouble, she can call them. They're going to have to be paying attention. Oh, I need a new cord so badly. So, yeah, I want to make sure that some of those conversations are happening also prior to her getting into any level of distress or respiratory failure of any kind. I'm funny that way. So anyway, guys, so I'm just waiting. And then if the nurse doesn't call me, I'll call her. Won't be the first time. So that's what we've been discussing and going over. And once I do get a chance to talk to her and find out, how she's doing today, what the plan is, how she did after her procedure. Because the other problem is they have a lot of temporary people that come in on weekends to relieve the normal staff that's there day in and day out, who don't know what the hell is going on with any of the patients ever. And that always worries me. In fact, when I actually went to see her, the one time I went in January, she did say that weekends are the worst because, it's not the normal people. They don't know what to do. They're jostling her around. Like, it was a miserable experience for her. So, on my way out, as I was leaving, I made a point of going by the nurse's station and saying, you know, I just want you to please remind the staff that go in to deal with my sister that, you know, she's in pain and she's hooked up to a lot of stuff, and it's a very miserable existence right now for her. So if they could please be extra gentle and pay very close attention and be extra vigilant, we would really appreciate that. And I thought, gosh, I wish I had brought in a pound of C's candy or something to, you know, have a lasting incentive, but next time. Anyway, and she can't have like regular flowers. I have to send like artificial flowers, and, you know, good luck trying to find someone that sends that. So, you know, I haven't really been able to think of anything, you know, really good to send her. I mean, other than cards saying, you know, we love you and we miss you and we wish you'd come home, you know, that kind of thing. But that's all I've been able to figure out so far. So I don't know, you guys. I just, I wish I could just get a patient sitter that sits with them 24 hours a day, and, you know, that I could call at any time and go, well, how's it going? Because, you know, I would like to be the oversight, but not possible. In the meantime, my husband's getting an MRI today, which is where he is right now, to test and see what the circulation in his legs really are, because we have had home health coming now to treat his wounds on his legs that aren't really healing for, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks. So we're getting to the point where it would be time to renew. So of course the doctor's like, hey, what's happening? You know, why isn't this getting better? And they take a photo every time they come, and, you know, so they can see what happened from last week, what the treatment looks like this week. And so the doctor's like, well, I would like to see what's actually going on, because even with home health out here twice a week, the open sores are still not healing. And yes, you know, yes, he's a diabetic, yes, but he actually has his diabetes under fantastic control. And so do I. And that just is because we have a fantastic endocrinologist. I wish I could clone her and give her to each of you, because amazing woman, just, I mean, utterly amazing. I credit her with saving us all kinds of hell. So, anyway, so he's been under really great control. So it should not have been as big a concern as it clearly has ended up to be. But at the same time, there's no arguing that it's 100% not healing. I mean, it's just plain not. So, they wanted him to go down to the wound clinic. I said, no, tell them you're not going to the wound clinic, because for one thing, we can't just, let's just go, hop in the car and go. Yeah. Okay. There is no hopping in the car for us, because, you know, we have to load my scooter in order for me to go any place and be able to get out of the car and go in somewhere. And his cane, or some days, if it's a really bad day, his walker. So that's a lot. And then we have to make sure that, you know, we can park somewhere that has handicap accessible parking, so we can put up our placard, so we can then unload all of those things we just loaded. So yeah, it's a big deal. It's not like, oh, just waltz in there and see what they're up to. No, that's not how it works, dear doctor. And you should really know that, but he doesn't. So anyway, so we've had to re-explain it to him. So, okay, fine. We did that. So I said, you know, we're perfectly happy with what wound care is doing. We don't know why it's not working, because, you know, the days that they don't come, it takes he and I both to get the wounds treated and recovered and bandaged and the ointment put on and all of that. And so, so one of the nurses wanted to change the ointment that was prescribed that we've been using, because she doesn't feel like it's doing enough. And the one she wants to have prescribed has an antibiotic in it. And it also helps to slough away some of the granulated tissue that wounds normally develop when they're healing, so that it can get underneath it and, finish healing it. So they asked the doctor for a prescription for the other ointment that they wanted to use. And that just, I don't know why, sent him into a tizzy. Oh, we got to get other eyes on this. Like, you know what, dude? How about your eyes, since you're primary care, okay? You're the one that ordered all of this, and now you're like, ooh, I'm just not sure. Well, okay. So he made a follow-up appointment with his doctor, who, for the record, you guys, I don't like. I don't care for the man. I don't think he's very good at anything geriatric. He had a wonderful doctor up here where we live, and he retired, and he recommended this group because they were straight out of UCLA and highly trained. Yeah, but they're all highly trained for LA County and how LA County works, which is not how Ventura County works. So, it's a whole thing. So I don't know how that's going to all pan out, but I told him, and the doctor is utterly paranoid about prescribing his pain medicine because, opiates. It's like, okay, listen, he's taking it exactly as prescribed. He's never had a problem. He's never been blacklisted by a pharmacy. Obviously, it's fine. But he also marched for 20 years. He's got terrible arthritis in his back. His legs don't work most of the time. His hips are starting to go. Okay, just give him the medicine and quit pissing me off. I mean, really, it gets to a point where I'm just like, look, we would just like to be able to get out of bed and do what we need to do during the day. Could you maybe just give us our medication so we can fricking do that? Thanks so much. So, yeah, I would say that his doctor has a lack of cooperation, and that annoys me because it's like, he's not like, he's so new to him and he's a teenager and oh my gosh, no, this man is going to be 74 in May, and you're not even the doctor that put him on it to begin with, but clearly it works because, well, he's standing in your office. So, okay, can we move on? Because that's really what we need to do. We just need to move on. So, yeah, I don't like a doctor that doesn't understand that, look, this is a partnership, okay? And doesn't trust the patient because it's like, believe me, if it were a problem, and he wouldn't be able to get it, and when you tried to fill it, you would be told, oh, I'm sorry, this patient's been on our pharmacy's blacklist for X amount of time, and we can't dispense any opiates to him. Okay, clearly that's not happening. So you just give the man the Vicodin and stop being an idiot. I just can't with these people. The amount of time and energy that they waste, and I never have enough of either one. So I get annoyed when it's wasted because, I would love to have that time they're wasting because I try to get 30 hours out of every 24 now. So yeah, really annoying to me when we can't seem to get it together. I mean, now I have a brand new doctor. Okay. She was new to me in December. And so she had every reason to not be cooperative with me. And she was totally cooperative, which is great because, she's giving me the benefit of the doubt. And unless I blow it, then, we should be getting along swimmingly. And so, but, I was very clear when I went in to see her. I said, listen, I think that my healthcare is a partnership. So when I come in here, here's what I'm looking for in a doctor. If something happens and I don't know, something unusual hurts, there's some kind of a weird discharge from somewhere, there's some other issue going on, then I want to be able to come in here and I want you to go, okay, well, here's what I think might be happening. It's one of three things, most likely. I'm going to be doing these diagnostics to find out what it is. And then when we figure out what it is, I want you to say, here are the possible treatments, A, B, and C. And then I'm going to tell you whether A, B, or C will fit into my life, and then that's the one we're going to go with. That's what I'm looking for. No more and no less. I'm not looking for miracles. I'm not looking to take up time that you don't have to give me. I'm not expecting you to fix everything that has gone on. I know that my body is a war zone. I know it has been through the ringer and has for a long time. And I know I've been on borrowed time since I was 19 when I had kidney failure that by all rights I should never have recovered from. So I understand. And I'm not asking you to be something you're not. I'm asking you to do the best you can with what I can tell you I can do. And it's going to have to be enough. I mean, and if it's not enough, okay, I'm prepared for the consequences of that. What I am not prepared to do is fight with you about every single thing to do with my health care, because I have to live on the other side of this body. So that's what I'm looking for. And if you're not comfortable with that, perfectly fine. Please let me know now, because I won't take up any more of your time or mine. And, we'll just call it. It was lovely to meet you. And, done. And she thought about it for a minute. And she goes, I think that can work. I can't think of a reason right off the bat it wouldn't work. Okay, great. I'm so happy to hear that. And I said, I'm looking forward to working with you for the good of my health care. And I'm going to do everything that I can do to make sure that my insurance company never holds up your claim. Woohoo. And she laughed. And we got along fine. Okay. I don't feel that Neil is as lucky. Of course, not everybody talks as freely to medical personnel as I do, but, between having a complicated medical history myself, because I do have an autoimmune disorder, and anybody that has had one of those or has one now, you understand when I say weird things happen to you, okay? So between that and having 3 kids that all had different levels of special needs, I have seen more than my share of experts, quote unquote, of every type of doctor you can name. And here's the thing, I'm not impressed with them anymore. I kind of had rose-colored glasses when I first started dealing with them, because my parents were of the generation where doctors were one step lower than God, and they could do no wrong, and they deserved total reverence, and, and all of that. And so that was the way we were brought up. Well, okay, sorry, Mom and Dad, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, when they take off their clothes, they're just people, and they can make mistakes too. And they can have bad attitudes too. And they can become jaded, and they can have predisposed ideas that they should never come at anybody with. And I have been on the brunt end of that way too much in my life. So that's kind of where I stand. So, that's why I'm not looking for someone to worship. I'm looking for somebody who went to medical school and has more ideas about what might be happening to me than I do. That's what I'm looking for. And as long as that can happen and that fits the bill, no problem. And as long as they're willing to work in a partnership for the good of my person, great. Neil still wants to have blind reverence. And, this guy just hasn't earned it, in my opinion, and is continuing not to earn it. So I would be happier if he would change to someone else. And I've been talking to him about it, but the one thing that I will not do is do it for him. So, yep, here's my opinion for what it's worth. And you make a decision, and then you're going to live with the end result. So whatever it is, and I'll just abide by it. I'm not going to hit him over the head about it either. Like, this is what I think should happen. So that's where we are. So right now he's just still, following whatever the doctor's orders are and doing, you know, whatever they think should be done. And it's like, okay, well, here we are. So yeah, I'm kind of just letting the air, you know, clear. But I did think that checking his circulatory system was a good idea. So, you know, that will not hurt us to find that out. And it might actually help us, because I do think it's weird and unusual, given that his diabetes is actually under control. I just find it odd that he's having such a hard time healing what are basically tiny wounds. They're not very big, but open is open. And now that he has one on each leg, you know, I'm kind of to the point where we need to figure out why it's having, I mean, because it's a lot of work, you know, for home health to come out and keep maintaining it. But it's hard for him too. It's hard for us, because the one thing that we're all trying to do is make sure there's no infection. Okay, well, you know, the longer they stay open without healing, the harder that is to do. So yeah, because we talked about it, and he goes, you know, do you think it's because, you know, we know that Medicare is going to balk about how much the MRI is, but, you know, he said, do you think I should go? I said, yes, definitely. I definitely think you should go. So no harm could come, and it might really give us some information that we don't know about. So that is where we are. So yeah, cross your fingers we find something out that might be useful, that we can tell home health, hey, try this, because here's what they found. And maybe get those gosh darn wounds to close. I mean, you know, the problem too is that he's very prone to cellulitis. And so, you know, and I always worry, you know, and that's why I try to keep the dog's nails trimmed real short, because I don't want them to cause him another wound. So, you know, but I mean, the skin is so fragile on his lower legs. It doesn't take anything for, you know, scratches and scrapes and ultimately, you know, little skin lesions to just form. So, you know, trying to keep all that clear takes a Herculean effort. And so far we've all done what we had to do, and we've been lucky, and there hasn't been anything, you know, even close to being infected, which is good. But yeah, the longer it stays open, the more you're playing the odds. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, what else is going on with you guys? Anybody watching anything good on the tube? Seeing any good movies? Doing any streaming? What's everybody doing for Easter? You gonna head out to see family? You gonna hide from family? What's the plan? I know it feels like it's ever so far away, but guys, it's really not far away at all. I mean, you know, 2 weeks, you guys. The last day of March, you know, Easter Sunday. So, yep, what's everybody up to? Everybody got family they're hanging out with? Gonna go have Easter dinner somewhere? You're gonna spend the day in church? What's the plan? Do you get any days off where you work for Easter? Do you get Good Friday, or do you get Monday after Easter Sunday? Or, you know, if you have kids, do they have spring break at that time? Like, what is the plan? Because, yeah, I realize I'm being a Vadinsky, but you know what? It's because I love all you guys, and I just want to know what's going on in your life. I do want to also, first of all, I want to thank all my subbies, all you guys that have been here for the long haul and going through it all and listening and commenting. You know, I'm just so thankful you're here. God love each and every one of you. You're just precious to me, and I'm so glad you're here. And for all my brand new subbies, thank you. Thanks for, you know, getting in here and subscribing, and, you know, you have lots of choices, and the fact that you chose my channel makes me really happy. And I hope that you're finding content that you enjoy. If you are looking for some other kind of diamond painting content, let me know. Let me know, is there a video you'd like to see? Are you curious about something? I do have videos already up about accessories that are available for diamond painting. I also have a video up on sealing your diamond paintings, showing how I use my favorite sealant of all time. But if there's something else that you're interested in and you'd like to say, see it and say, hey, I'd like to see if this works, or, is it just hokey? Like what's really happening with this? Let me know. Tell me in the comment section and I will investigate and see what I can find out for you. See if we have the ability to either live or recorded get a question answered for you. So you let me know what it is that you're curious about, and I will get to investigating it for you. Because chances are, if you have a question, you are likely not the only one with a question. There are probably other people wondering the same thing and just nobody's asked yet. And remember, there are no stupid questions. The only stupid questions are the ones you don't ask. Okay? So if there's something you want to know, spit that out. Let's get that answered for you. All right. So that's that. Now, what else is going on? My wedding anniversary with my husband will be next Friday. 21 years of marriage. So I was married 15 years to the first husband, so seemed to have surpassed that all of a sudden. But yeah, altogether, that's an awful lot of my life. So we are going to be going out. I got tickets for us at a local little theater group that we both really like. They're putting on a play, so I got tickets for us to go, and we're going to go out to an early dinner, and then we're going to head over to the play. So, and it's a little playhouse where, we're going to dress nicely, but it's not something that, we have to really dress up like that. Yeah, that's not part of it. So, which makes both of us increasingly happy, because between my back and my hips, my days in heels are just about done. Unless I'm going to a wedding for one of my kids, I probably will never be in heels again, and I am so okay with that. But we will look presentable when we go. So that'll be fun. And we did celebrate my son's 28th birthday. Oh, I can't believe that. My older son will be 35 this year at the end of August, which I also can't believe. I feel like I just took him home from the hospital the other day, and here he is, nearly 35 with babies of his own. So, yeah, and my other son will be 31 in November. So, yeah, guys, when I tell you it flies by, it flies by. So enjoy your kids, even the hard stuff, Enjoy the good stuff. Enjoy the difficult stuff. Spend extra time telling them how much you love them and how glad you are that you have them, because it makes a huge difference. Your kid will not be the one suffering low self-esteem in the classroom and not knowing what to do about it, as long as you make it clear, because that's all kids care about. They don't care how much money you have. They don't care, what fancy toys, they just want to know, do your eyes light up when they walk in the room? Do you smile? Does your face show them what your heart already knows? That their presence brightens your day? That's really all they want to know. Do I matter to you? Do you hear me? Do you like having me around? Because if your message to them is, God, you're such a burden. Your kid will be the one with the low self-esteem. Just saying. So, yep. Just let them know, because it will make a big difference in their life. Okay, bark machine. So yeah, guys, that's what my suggestion would be. And you have to excuse the bark machine. My spouse just walked in, so the dogs are way awake and being a pill. So yeah. Well, guys, not a whole heck of a lot else happening. I hope that everybody is doing something fun for the coming holiday. Yes, and I hope that everybody feels loved and spoiled by the people in your life, because you all deserve it. You should be spoiled. And if nobody is spoiling you, then you go out there and spoil you. Get yourself something fun. Take yourself out to dinner. Take yourself to a movie. You know you're good company. Get on out there and go. Yeah, you never know who you might meet who's also taking their self out to the movies. You don't know. Yep. Get out there. Be part of the world. Be kind, because this world is really suffering a deficit in the kindness factor. So be kind, because everybody's just trying to survive. Everybody's worried. Everybody's concerned. The state of the world, the state of politics, the state of the nation, it's all hard, okay? So just you know, go out there, be a good person, be a good citizen, be kind, be nice. Let everyone that you run across in on the fact that you're a good person. How? Open the door for them. You know, let them cut in front of you to get on the freeway. What do you care if it's 2 seconds later, right? Yep. If you go into the store and you decide you're going to buy a dozen flowers for your dinner table at home, buy an extra dozen, give them out. Just walk up to people, go, here, I just wanted to give this to you and say that I hope you're having a good day because you're worth it. Okay, bye guys. You'd be surprised what a difference that 3-second thing would be to some people. Okay, so do all of that and enjoy your weekend, because yes, fun. And now we're out of award show season, so you know, things should be returning to normal. We return you to your regularly scheduled program. Hopefully that won't be, you know, cutting everyone off from their shows anymore, so that'll be nice. Was anybody else irritated that the new series for 911 is going to be a triple episode premiere? Seriously? We have to have it continued not once, but twice? Really? Ugh. Frustration. Anyway, that was annoying. But I'm glad that the regular shows are coming back on. So, yeah, gives us something to do, right, guys? All right, people. So, next time we do a WIP N Chat, somebody remind me in the comments if you'd like this. I thought I would just, you know, introduce you to the 4 dragons that live in my house so that you will know who I'm talking about when you hear me discussing them. And yeah, just thought I'd give you just a real quick intro. Here they are. Here's this one. Here's that one. Here's the other one. And last but not least, you know, something quick just so you can kind of meet them and know who they are. So let me know if you think that that would be something that you'd like to see in the next video or not. If you don't, totally fine. So, all right, guys. Well, I want everyone to have a fantastic weekend. Really do something fun. You know, call somebody you haven't talked to in a really long time. Just go, hey, I was just thinking about you. How you doing? Right? Just, you know, how you doing? Yeah. Or, you know, I saw something when I was out and it just made me think of you. And I thought I would just, you know, I thought, gosh, I haven't called that person in a while. So how are you doing? You know? You never know. We're all in this life together, everyone. So, yep. Practice kindness, random acts of kindness, because those are the things that will have a lasting impression in ways that you can't even imagine. Even if all you just want to do it for karma points for yourself, go ahead. I don't care. Just do it. Do it. All right, guys. And remember, always be a dragon. Spread your wings. Protect those you love. Have fiery passion. Be strong. Slay your fears. And always rise up, fly, soar. All right, guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.